Welcome to the Monster Hunter Podcast Show. It's episode 44 and it's June 20th, 2011.
Tundra late at night, and when I'm walking in the caves, sometimes feel a little strained, a little anxious in the caves. Fear of the Nox, fear of the Nox. I have a constant fear that Giga Nox is near.
Hi and welcome to the Monster Hunter Podcast. I'm Christian from Game Design Scrapbook.
Hey everyone, this is Social Dissonance, also known as Shepard from YouTube.
Hello, this is Noxella, and I am not K.O. Han.
Yes, he is.
Of course he is.
And my name is Nick, and one time K.O. Han headbutted my mom.
What?
Dude, bro bump over the internet.
Is she okay?
I haven't seen her since.
Oh gosh.
Christian, where do you think Nick came from? All right. When KO on headbutts somebody, a baby is made.
The origin story.
A little angel. And that angel is Nick.
It's Nick's origin story. Nick begins.
Hey, the title screen doesn't come until after the movie's done, okay?
Okay, but today's podcast is also a podcast of the Double Shepherd.
A Tale of Two Shepherds.
A Tale of Two Shepherds. Because we have a very, very special guest on our show today. It's none other than Brett Galloway. How are you, Brett?
Hey, I'm really good. Thank you guys so much for having me on. It is a true honor.
Yes, Brett is an excellent and experienced monster hunter who just recently discovered the joy of ad hoc party.
That is very true. I have spent most of my monster hunting career solo. It's just been me, lonely out in the hills, scavenging goods and crafting my own gear. But it's been a hard road, and I'm really glad that I've found some people that I can get together with and make my future a little brighter.
And Brett, you're also doing a lot of games journalism, as I understand. Is that right?
Well, I don't know if I would say games journalism. That's kind of a loaded title. I prefer to just call myself a plain old reviewer. That's really what I like to do. So I have been the senior editor over at GameCritics.com for the last 11 years, and I publish reviews there quite regularly. Also, I do have a blog, Drinking Coffee Cola, that I kind of do some weirder stuff at, just kind of more links and random garbage. So I keep that off the site, and then I do all my official work at the site. But you can find me there if you have any interest.
Well, the funny thing is, I first heard you on the Brainy Gamer podcast when you were talking a lot about Monster Hunter. I thought, this might be an interesting guest for our show. And then I realized afterwards that you are actually were the guy who wrote this awesome review about Monster Hunter Freedom Unite.
Oh, you read that, huh? Did you like that? Did I do a good job?
Yeah, I was totally blown away by it because I thought it was like the most hardcore review I've ever saw. Like,
is that a good thing?
Yes, definitely. I think the review starts with, I played this game for 300 hours and this is what came out of it.
Yes. Oh, I did read that review. That review was amazing. I'm like, if only every game reviewer put 300 hours into their game, whatever they came up with in the end, you would not be able to argue with that reviewer. That is gospel.
Well, thank you guys so much for reading it. I'm really, I didn't know you guys had read it, so that's a real thrill. It's cool that people who actually know the game have read the review, and if you guys approve, then that's the highest praise I could have asked for.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, think of all the reviews Monster Hunter has gotten over its 5 or 6 Western releases, and how often it's panned, and yet the reviewers don't even put 5 hours into it. I mean, of course the first 5 hours suck. And that might be a weakness of the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the game's bad, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, there's certainly allowances that can be made if a game is a slow starter, but for a game like Monster Hunter that's really well known for being large and deep, and for being pretty demanding, I would expect any reviewer worth their salt to at least get a pretty sizable chunk into it. I mean, I think it's pretty unrealistic to think that every reviewer is going to be able to, quote unquote, finish the game, considering how large some of them can be. But 5 hours is not even a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, I mean, if you just take the very first chain of village elder quests, I mean, is it standard practice now that you have to at least complete a game before you can submit a review? Are there a lot of reviewers out there that will play like for an hour or two and say that they're done?
Well, it varies from site by site. At our specific site, we have a policy that you actually do not need to finish the game, but what we do have is we have a disclaimer at the bottom of each review. So when you get to the bottom, the reviewer has to say whether or not they did finish, and if they did not, how long they played. So that way, if there's been a few games that I have reviewed that I didn't like and I quit early, and I say that in my review. I say,
Okay.
I didn't finish this game, I hated it, and that way the reader can read and they'll know exactly how much time the reviewer has, and they can take it for what it's worth, or just leave it, or just disregard as needed. It's just we don't think that it's really realistic considering how many games pad their length and how much time it takes to finish a game as compared to reading a book or watching a movie. So, just for real life, practical purposes, we figure this was a good workaround.
I thought that was a very, very excellent and super professional approach in having this little box on at the bottom, because you also mentioned stuff like if you bought this game or not, and if you and also there is some information about hearing impaired people and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We want to be very, very transparent. We do say whether we got the game for free or whether we paid for it, since that matters to some people. And also, like you mentioned, we are big supporters of the disabled gamer community. So we do try to take a few extra minutes to talk about whether games are accessible for people who are hearing impaired. So we try.
Okay, so we finally got into the quest, and we are starting fighting. Wait a minute, what's the monster called again?
This is the Wind Elder Dragon, Kushala Daora.
That's right.
But I do want to, Brad and I
He's
had
in
this,
number 9.
Oh, yeah, I see him. We were having a little conversation about, because his website caters to disabled gamers, that we're not happy so much with modern game controllers so much because there's really no allowances for people that don't have full range of motion in all of their hands and other such things.
Definitely, I read some cool articles, and there are some websites of people creating like custom controllers and stuff like that. But you can there's even such more fundamental things that a lot of game developers can do, but they choose not to. Which
They usually don't.
stuff like having like fully customizable controls, so certain button layouts may be easier reachable for people who can press all the buttons at once and stuff like that.
And subtitles too. It seems like such a natural, easy thing to think of, and you'd be surprised how many games either don't have subtitles at all, or have them that are just so like in such small text, or just don't capture what's going on screen. It's really shameful.
Oh yes, it definitely. So you, the Monster Hunter in that regard is a little bit, you wrote in your review that there's certain audio cues that you may not pick up, right?
Oh yes, it's very true. I was really trying to pick it apart, and as I was going through, I would often turn the sound off myself just so I could see firsthand, and I was actually surprised. It wasn't impossible to play, but there were a good number of audio cues that I didn't realize I had depended on so much. And once I turned the sound off, I thought, oh gosh, it almost feels like I'm playing blind. But in Monster Hunter, I think sound does play more of a role than in the average game.
You'd be, you're right. I did the vast majority of my LP, and I actually do almost all of my podcasts with my audio muted, just so there's no interference in the background. Because there's nothing worse than an LP where you're hearing the sound in-game and then echoed through dude's terrible microphone. And
Right.
It's particularly bad against some monsters like Diablos or whatever, where you've got that music playing, and when that music's playing, he's in the zone. And, if you're not looking at your sidebar all the time, like, you have no idea, is he here? Is he still in the area? Is he leaving? Like,
Exactly.
You don't know.
Yeah,
I found I needed it with the Fatalis. When I was waiting for his fireballs to come down, I couldn't see him because he'd be flying. And I didn't realize how much I was using the audio cue to know when to dodge for those fireballs.
Oh wow.
And as soon as I tried it without audio for the first time, I got hit and killed so many times, it was a little embarrassing.
Well, that's the thing with such audio cues and generally stuff. like people that have disabilities. These are things that you don't really notice often, and until you lose them, and then you suddenly realize how much you're dependent on them in the first place.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Okay, so you guys, I'm still having troubles to catch up with the stream because we are doing some streaming in the recent episodes. Lots of people asked us that in the comments section of our last video. But unfortunately, the stream thing is still not really working properly. We're trying to get it up so people can watch us play. And I'm getting the bad end of this deal right now. So what are you guys doing?
We are fighting Kushala Daora right now. We're in zone 9.
I'm trying to stab him in the face.
The desert.
It's working pretty well. Because am I the only one with full wind protection in this quest?
I think so. I am getting
so, yeah.
destroyed. Everything is destroyed. I'm sort of glad that you can't see the stream because I would be embarrassed right now.
This is generally considered the weakest of the Elder Dragons. In a way, Chameleos is also pretty weak if you've got a very particular setup, especially dual swords with a really good sharpening setup, because you could just constantly stab him in the back legs, and we may do him later, so I can demonstrate
I
that.
had an easier time of youth panelists because somebody just brought a million flash bombs and stood in front of him, flashing him constantly.
That doesn't work as well in
And he never
Ucambos as it
moved.
does a Cantor. Or did it work really well in Ucambos?
Oh, it worked really well. He never moved from his origin, from the spot that he
What?
popped up. It was amazing. I mean, they literally just sat there throwing flash bomb after flash bomb after flash bomb. There's 2 people. They had brought enough materials for 10, I
That's
guess?
really funny.
Or 20? I can't even remember. But it was amazing. And then we fought this same group fought a Chameleos, and he never moved from his spot either. But that was just because there were 4 hammers on the head. And
Oh,
so
wow. There's a lot of people that criticize Try for being easier than Freedom Unite, but there are a lot of things that are very easily exploited in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Flash bombs being one of them. But then again, I mean, that's kind of explains why there's a lot of people in the fan community that disavow flash bombs, because that makes the game too easy, and they kind of have a point.
So I have a controversial question that I was wondering about.
Ooh.
I don't know if you'll cut it out later, but I was going to
Ooh, I might. And we'll have to be
'cause
talking about ice cream again.
we had talked about how did he know? So I've been playing this game a lot lately, and we talked about cats before, in particular a hacker cat.
Uh-oh. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
So yesterday when I was playing, constantly, I don't know if it was just the day or if it was the account or what was going on, but there was just people in every ad hoc world that I went into that was running around screaming, "Can I have a hacked cat? Can I have a hacked cat?" So I know that you know the story, Shepard. So I'm wondering about
man, I
hacked
had
cat
the most
story.
annoying kid ever I played with. And no disrespect to our younger viewers, but this was like a kid that should have been staying at home doing his homework and not an ad hoc party. He would join up with my quest and we'd be chatting in ad hoc party for 10 minutes. It's cool, bro. And not actually do the quest. And then when it got time to get into the quest, he would be terrible. But explain the hacker cat phenomenon. Nick.
Yeah, I have no idea
I
about
was
it.
asking you to explain
Yeah,
that.
I'm clueless
Well,
too.
all right, so what it is somebody used custom firmware or something, and they created a cat that has completely glitched attack and defense values, so it could pretty much 1 or 2 shot any monster in the game.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
So there are certain
Can
breaks.
I have a
that
hack
never
cat?
get-
Can I have one?
Okay. That's enough of you. There's certain, you kind of know them because, there's certain parts of a monster you'll only get from a break, and a hacked cat will never get you, like a tail carve or like a head break or anything like that, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So you can kind of tell who those people are. But if there's a certain monster you're having a really hard time on, I guess it's okay. I'm not okay with it, actually. I'm completely against it. But what it is there's this farm of hacked cats out there, and people get them and they start passing them out through the trade on ad hoc party. And I don't,
It's like a black market. It's weird.
I don't really know how it works. I'm assuming it involves some sort of cheat code, maybe save manipulation. I don't know.
I'm running the mental image through my head of a farm of cats, of hacked cats.
Should, and they should like be mostly represented by binary until they materialize in game.
Something like in Tron, but with cats.
A little bit.
And they're hacked and glitching and riding bikes
Yep.
and killing monsters.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the thing is, it's like there are people that play this game for all different reasons. Some people are in it really just so they can play dress up. Funny, I mentioned that first. Now everyone's gonna think I play it because I just want to do dress up, and it's true. Other people play it for the challenge. Other people do it to see out all the new skills. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think there's anybody playing it just to kill a bunch of monsters and get a bunch of carbs that they didn't earn. Like that's kind of pointless.
Yeah, you're kind of cheating yourself out of the fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a domination of a game in a different way than playing the game to earn it or like destroying the software to earn it.
I heard that there are people who actually pay other people to play the games for them, but not like in World of Warcraft, where you pay. Sometimes you can pay other people to level your character, but now they're doing the same for like single player games.
Yeah,
What?
people will do that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
What's the point of that?
Well, they're getting the achievements.
Yeah, they're either getting achievements. or-
achievements are so devious.
And I mean, it's people who don't have time, which I still think is a criticism of game design more than it is
Yeah.
All right.
anything else. Because I think that because most games, especially like this, are usually purchased by parents, the kids are gonna play their games and things like that. It's like, why not have a mode in your game where you can just be like, well, I unlocked half the game.
Oh,
or
yeah.
I unlocked the whole game.
Yeah.
I just call it parent mode, have them only interact with other parents or something like that. I think it would take care of a lot of hacking problems.
Yeah, there are like solutions like that for racing games and for fighting games, where you can sometimes, for example, for racing games, I think EA did something like that. You can, or no, wait a minute, not EA. Well, wait, yes, EA.
Yeah, it was Burnout Paradise had
Exactly,
that mode.
where you for just a couple of Microsoft points you could get like car key downloads thing, where you could unlock all the cars with just a couple of points. And
I did that.
You did that?
Yeah, I didn't want to play that game.
Cheapskate.
I spent some points on Tales of Vesperia so I can get the boots that let you run just like a tiny bit faster.
Really?
It's like a 15% increase.
Oh, wow, that's very subtle.
It didn't make the game any easier. It just maybe would reduce the amount of time you play the game by
But-
2 hours of just mindless wandering.
There's something so satisfying about being able to complete the game just 10% faster. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
come on.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in running, because that's what you're doing all the time in the game.
Don't you think it's kind of a slippery slope though? Because we had a discussion about this on Game Critics, and we're all older gamers. I mean, we're not old, but a lot of us have kids and we have jobs and that kind of thing. And a lot of us were saying that we really like the shorter games or games that don't really make you work to get through stupid stuff, which is great. I mean, I think more games should cut out the stupid stuff. But we were also talking about that the opposite side of that is like you said, if you buy these really low cost downloadable things, you run faster, get a couple extra potions, you get a higher drop percentage on a certain thing. We kind of felt like it might encourage developers to develop games that are like more irritating to play, so that you'd be more inclined to pay extra to avoid the irritation. And that to us sounded like a real kind of dangerous precedent to be set.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, I guess in a lot of ways we already have that because those things exist. So it's weird, I mean, you can already do that. I guess if you make it a feature and not an addendum, it would be kind of weird.
Yeah, like the
Like
horse.
especially. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just reminded of the horse armor stuff. Things that it's constantly reminded when you talk about DLC and stuff like that. There's this superficial stuff. Or for example, for Portal, I'm just playing Portal 2, and you get like costumes for your robots. In co-op mode, you can play as robots, and you can get costumes for those robots.
See, Steam did a strange thing where they kind of embraced all of that and are like, hey, check out our store. It's run by everyone else who likes the game. Buy somebody else's stuff. Is kind of an odd move, I thought, on their part.
Yeah, but that's definitely a good point. I see it for especially for EA. Like EA has lots of those features where it seems like they're built in and to encourage people to buy DLC to get rid of them again. So
yeah, EA is one of the biggest offenders, that's for sure. It's like they have a whole host of stuff. A lot of it is really worthless, and you can avoid some of that. But yeah, I think personally, I don't mind DLC, but I think for me, in my mind, the proper usage of it is to extend the life of a game you've already played, or after you've beaten a game, it's on your shelf for months, you haven't touched it. A new 2-hour quest comes out. Hey, great idea. Let's get some more use out of this game. For me, that's great. I mean, but those things that kind of alter the actual nature of gameplay, in my mind anyway, are kind of distasteful to me.
The game that I enjoyed that stuff the most in, and maybe this is because this game I've probably played longer than any other game I've played combined, was Final Fantasy XI.
Oh yes.
You could purchase items that would teleport entire groups to you, to the leader of the group. So, like, let's say, because sometimes getting to quest locations is really annoying. It'd take you a good hour to travel to these places.
Oh my god!
Literally
Really?
an hour. So,
Get home from work, like ready to sit back,
man,
and like relax.
You
No.
can't have a job and play Final Fantasy XI. All right. You're just no job. Just that is your job. So you just travel all the way out there, and you use this item that you paid $30 for, and everyone else travels to you. It's like, well, that's a really good. I mean, it's kind of getting around the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be a certain level to use it. It was nice. And like every other time I've seen this stuff, aside from like Burnout Paradise, which I thought was a nice shortcut on their part, I haven't really enjoyed it. But it would be nice if it was like something you didn't have to pay for.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird thing. But for example, it occurred to me when I was playing Fallout 3, I think. And there is a fast traveling function there as well,
Yeah.
But for Fallout 3, it felt so odd to me because the Fallout 3 has this rich and immersive world, and every time you travel somewhere, something weird happens. And by fast traveling, you kind of get rid of all the gameplay stuff that you would otherwise experience.
Yeah, these items were, especially in Final Fantasy XI, it was for people who were tired of getting the tiny details of the game. They just wanted to get somewhere and get a whole bunch of experience points and leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kind of like for pro players, I guess, right?
Maybe it should just be an option. Like, I'm tired of walking between these two cities. Please just teleport me.
You want gameplay or not? Oh yeah, that's another game where I noticed this recently in LA Noire. Have you played it? Had anybody of you played the game already?
I haven't yet. I want to play it, but it's still a little too pricey for me.
It's so weird because they have like this wonderful, this gorgeous replica of Los Angeles, but it's completely pointless.
What?
It's completely.
Is there nothing? Is there nothing there to do?
Well, it's just a means for you to get from point A to point B, but there's nothing in between. Like you can collect cars or something like that, very stupid stuff. And otherwise, it just takes time to get from one place to another.
Is it sort of like Crackdown, where you're like, oh, look, I'm playing a GTA-like game, and then you never get in a car?
Yeah, there's no point in getting in a car there. But I don't imagine they have detectives jumping over buildings, right?
No. It's not like that.
Is it on the PC? Because, I mean, that'll happen. Just give it time.
Well, definitely. You can do really funny stuff there. But, yeah, the funny stuff is that you can also...
Christian, stop!
What?
It's hammer time.
No.
Wow.
What are you hammering?
Dude, spontaneously, I said Shen Gaoren in the chat. 4 dudes show up. No coordination whatsoever. All got hammers. I mean, look, we knew KO Han was going to bring one.
Of course, because it's KO Hanukkah. Hey.
Shen, huh? We're going to be fighting a lot of feet.
Yeah, well, I figured, we have probably as close to professional game journalism, although that really is a dirty word, isn't it, Brad?
Oh, yes.
But if we have you here, we have to fight a giant enemy crab. I mean, there's just no other way around it.
That's very true.
It's based on Japanese history.
Mm-hmm. Realistic history.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet. It's okay.
So I remember playing this once, and and I was standing here, and something hit me out of nowhere, and I died immediately. Is that normal?
Yeah. Traveling on your way to the actual fight, like there's just stuff that like randomly blows up.
It's so weird.
So it's like that's not your fault.
Okay.
That was it.
I've always wondered. It was like the very first time I ever fought Shen Gaoren. I
Yeah.
was like, what do I do? What's my name? I don't understand what's going on here. There's a crab. Do I hit it with a hammer? What
Dogs
do I
and cats
do?
living together.
Hey, let's not talk about Ghostbusters. This is sore subject.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, see, something just blew up next to me. I'm just trying to show off all the various gather points. There was another one back there, too. Are you guys not familiar? Did you guys not...
We're already all here.
I already have supply large barrel bombs.
Did you get ballista shots?
I didn't. I don't want them, though.
Okay.
Who uses those?
This guy.
What? Get out of here.
You fired.
Keohan appeared to me in a dream last night. He's like on the podcast.
Speaking of Keohan, do you want to read?
Yeah, let's hear some choice quotes, some choice stories of how he has saved people, how he saved our listeners.
Because as we mentioned last episode, we are celebrating Keo Hanukkah, and or how do you guys spell it? Hanukkah?
Keo Hadouken.
Hey, Keo Hadouken. That's right. That was the word I was looking for. And so we have received a couple of interesting, fascinating stories about Keo Han and how he touched the hearts and lives of many our listeners out there. One of them is Pippin, and he wrote the following thing. Keo Han has changed my life in many ways. For example, it made me realize that maybe Chuck Norris isn't the only amazing person in the world. Keo Han is maybe at the same level as Chuck Norris in awesomeness. In fact, I realized that Keo Han may be as good as Shepard in Monster Hunter, but we will never know unless you will have it on a podcast. If it will ever happen. I am really annoyed because I haven't ever heard of Keo Han until last night when I was watching a podcast at 3 a.m. with my iPod Touch. Now he's my follower. Thank you. I can't believe I have never heard of him. My life is now complete. Thank you, Monster Hunter Cast.
This is really inspirational.
Wow, it was.
Really, yes. As I said, we touch the hearts and minds and lives of other people out there.
So guys, I've laid a trap for Shen Gaoren. He won't expect it.
I got some bombs if we want to drop them. Oh, someone else is dropping bombs. All right, let's do it.
So here's another wonderful, uplifting story from Cookie the Lonely. And he writes, Keo Han once attempted water ski boxing, and became the lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight champ, all with one punch.
Wow!
That's quite an accomplishment.
That is quite an accomplishment.
What is water ski boxing?
It sounds like somebody that wants to go through all the ranks. Aren't there people that do that? Like you start off as like a heavyweight, and you go down the weight classes, or maybe you start at the lowest weight and you go up the weight classes. I imagine it'd be easier to go light to heavy.
But wait a minute, you have to box while you're doing water ski?
Yeah, why not?
So you're behind a boat and you're holding onto a stick, and you're getting pulled through a lake and jumping sharks and everything.
This really sounds like something only David Hasselhoff would do.
Certainly. I think there are only 3 people who didn't do that. Keo Han, David Hasselhoff, and Chuck Norris, obviously.
Now, this is a quest where I'd be willing to spend a couple points of DLC just to get him here.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna blow up
Crab speed.
his little
I'm going.
claws.
I'm going crab speed this entire time. Oh, I think you missed.
Okay. I
Missed
got
his
that.
claws?
Yep.
Well, that was on
Premature
purpose.
explosion, guys.
Oh god,
Ah,
I have to ask my doctor about that.
It doesn't happen, ever. I swear. It's just.
This is my first
one-off
time.
thing. Yeah, it's weird.
This is so exciting to have all these people using hammers on this crab. No idea. I'm really very excited. The only thing more exciting would be have 4 people pierce gunning with adrenaline on.
man, I made a pellet gun set the other day. Yesterday.
Do the
Are
double
you excited?
Monobolus quest in the high rank Elder, and you'll see how powerful that is. I was killing double Monobolus in like, what was it, 5 minutes? Less?
You saw the set I made, right? The gun that I made as well. Oh man, that
It's
thing
the
is amazing.
the Yamatsukami gun, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
also do the what is it? The gold.
Don't do
Rathian?
that. No, don't do that. That gun's terrible.
Is it really?
Yeah, you don't want to make that.
But it's called prosperity. Why wouldn't I want prosperity?
Wow, live long and prosper.
It's a trap.
It's a StarCraft and Star Wars reference in one sentence.
Look, there's only room for one of us under this crap, Noxella.
I'm getting feet because I'm pro. No, feet, come back.
Oh, I did. I mean,
Let's have 2 battles at the same time, Noxella.
I win.
You win immediately. That's all right. Oh, gee. Well, I'm pretty sure that one wasn't intentional, but that's okay, anyways.
I win again.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how exciting this fight is for our fans, but I mean, I know there's a great many of them that have only played Monster Hunter Tri, so in that case, this fight will probably be a little exciting.
Man, you know, when this crab first appeared in Monster Hunter DOS, I remember the advertisements for it. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's living in Lao Shen's head! Holy Jesus! Oh my God!" And then they're like, "Yeah, Monster Hunter DOS isn't coming out in America," and everyone's cried, like literally was crying. Kleenex sales went up that week by 300%.
Oh,
Were you
that's a lot of tears.
Yes.
Yeah,
Some serious crocodile tears going on in there.
Tears for Fears. Were you crying as well, Nick?
I really enjoyed Monster Hunter. I did this because I used to play with a friend of mine, Damon, who's my best man in my wedding, and we'll play a game. You know, we'll play at all waking moments during a week, and then next week we're just done with the game and never talk about it again. We played Monster Hunter for probably a good month, I want to say.
Wow.
Like every day. This is when I was not a department store, apartment complex manager. So I had lots of time on my hand.
Is that what
then-
my apartment complex manager is doing all day?
Yes.
Playing Monster Hunter?
Stop playing Monster Hunter! Get around to fixing my pool!
Or they're playing WoW.
Or, just for my fans, just so they know, I don't actually live in an apartment complex. Don't look for apartment complexes with pools. Please don't stalk me.
I gave a clue about your identity earlier today on your channel.
Uh-oh. Well, there's
Oh.
already... There are clues about Ko Han. People are trying to deduce his identity.
I said that your name is from a significant figure in the Bible.
That only covers all the names in the... Yes.
All Anglo names.
That's my given name. My real name is Shepard. So is that? I hear a child in the background. Is that the child I helped beat Tigrex with, Brad?
Yeah, he's really upset because he didn't get the card he wanted. So
Aww.
I
Man,
told
I
him we'd do
can't
it later, but you know how it goes.
Those are the pains of having a Monster Hunter family.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, how come you keep getting all the heavenlies? It's not fair.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you guys just got that because I was going to get stomped to death by a crab.
Yeah, Brad. I heard that on Twitter that you have you playing Monster Hunter with your kids.
Yeah, with I have two boys actually. So I have my oldest, his name is Reese, and he's 10, and he's the one that we just fought Tigrex with.
Oh wow.
And my youngest is named Whitaker, and he's 2. He's not quite. He likes watching the monsters. I show him the ecologies from the the little the cutscenes and stuff. So he digs those. But he can't quite get the claw down on PSP. So I figure I'll wait till he's maybe 3 or 4 to introduce that.
See,
You gotta
you need to
stretch
get
those
him.
fingers at an early age.
You got to
Get some
get him a
rubber bands
PSP
on
Go.
No, skip
PSP
it.
Go. And you just get him a PS3 controller. Sync it to that. That way he doesn't need the claw.
My
Just play.
That's a good fix. I'll have to tell him that once I change his diapers. I'm sure he'll be up for requesting later on.
I'm just gonna say, what on the go? No.
He doesn't need to use the claw if you just set him up for running your farm. I mean, he could be like a really great asset in improving your honey production.
That's true.
All right,
Are you
son.
gonna go to scrap mines?
Get Daddy 300 honey and it'll be ice cream tonight. Otherwise, nothing but broccoli for the rest of the week. Get on.
Oh,
Wow.
Know what it's going to be like in the Shepherd household.
Broccoli is quite harsh.
It's actually really good for children. I mean, they hate eating it, but it's got a lot of essential
You know,
nutrients.
you coat it with cheese and you fry it, and it's all good.
Yeah, anything in tempura is.
That defeats the purpose.
This is America.
Welcome to America.
Have you guys ever heard Romanesco salad?
Romanesco salad.
Well, it's,
Heard of it.
They call it Romanesco salad here in Germany. It's basically broccoli, but it looks like a fractal.
Right.
No.
Oh yes.
I
I
think
want
I've seen
fractal
it.
salad.
It's amazing. It's like you eating infinity. Yeah, but it tastes exactly like broccoli.
I was gonna say it sounds very filling. So does it follow Fibonacci sequence?
Yeah, definitely. It looks like a Mandelbrot thing.
That is really cool, actually.
It's really crazy. Like you're
See,
getting,
it looks like a manro.
yes, that's what I said. No, you're eating a little man, bro. Yes, and they're fist bumping your teeth while you're eating one.
Good job eating me, bro.
That's not disturbing at all.
Don't I taste good, bro? Keep chewing. Chew at least 20 times per bite. You don't want you choking.
Oh yes, use your tongue, and no homo.
No homo.
Let
I
us
have to say this is totally off the topic of eating man bros, but I gotta say that out of all of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, the Garen's faceplant is I think my favorite death animation.
I know.
Oh.
Just
I'm a fan of Kezu and his capture tail. He just stops everything and just stares off into the distance. And if you flinch him, he just does it all over again.
He's contemplating his own humanity.
Memento mori. Oh yes,
Remember death? Is that what you just said?
Yes,
You're pretty cool.
I know.
You're a cool person.
You're not so bad yourself. The stream is crashing all over the place. I can't see what you guys. I'm seeing all the time. I'm seeing one screenshot of a huge crab, and I think Nick is about to hit him.
Yeah, well, he just died.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So that's cool.
well, I can, man. Yeah.
Technology.
This the Dino streaming thing doesn't seem to be as good as the Justin TV, but Justin TV is down. So
Well, everything, the entire internet conspires against us. So how about yet another uplifting quote from our wonderful Haruka followers?
Oh, actually, how
Keo
about
Haruka.
a question, and then a quote
Okay.
to reflect on?
Do you have a specific question in mind?
You think I prepare for this podcast?
It sounded like you had a question in mind. Okay, never mind.
No.
Then I'm gonna pick a question myself. Let me see. Well, there's an interesting question which I heard from a lot of people this week, which is this is a question from Gossip Gildy, and he says, or she says, "Hey guys, there have been rumors that the Monster Hunter Portable 3rd is coming out to the West, oh no, that's the sentence getting a little bit muddy there, but he basically says that it's going to come out June, July this year. Do you think is this a possibility?"
No.
I heard
No, that's not possible at all.
I heard that rumor from other people as well.
What? How would that be possible? We would have heard about it. June's half over already.
wait, what's coming out?
Monster Hunter Portable 3rd.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Well, what about the HD version?
The best case
It's coming out
scenario.
in September or
No,
August release, right?
Late August in Japan. Best case scenario, you'll get the PS3 HD release holiday season of 2011.
Well,
12.
I was
Really? Well, probably not that late.
I was thinking about it. Capcom wasn't there at E3. So if they had
They
something, no, they weren't.
They had
Yeah.
a section.
They had a
not
booth.
Like a conference.
Did they have a booth?
They had a student's desk that they just put a little netbook on, replaying a trailer from.
There was an intern.
Yeah, it was just Dragon's Dogma. It wasn't even a trailer of Dragon's Dogma. It was a flip book, and the intern was just running the flip book over and over again.
It was printed out screenshots with a bubble jet printer,
More or less.
and he ran out of ink.
So, what are we fighting now?
Your favorite. It's been a long time coming, Nick.
Quasyoff?
No, don't tell me that's your favorite, because I will rage quit out of this podcast right now. All right, I have threatened to jump out of a window before. It'll happen. Okay?
Please
Don't
go,
push it.
Shepard. It's okay.
What is it then? Is it Fatalis?
Nope.
No, it's Yamatsukami, bro.
Oh, that's right.
I posted the lineup in the chat. You should check it.
Nobody reads that.
Oh.
Nobody reads the comments.
Duh.
I'm gonna gun Yamasukami. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, I'm gonna be very manly, and I'm gonna hit him with a greatsword.
You go, Bruce Manley.
This is for the milkman and all of us.
Oh yes.
That's right. Pellet shots all day.
Oh no.
So how about a
Uplifting
scripture
a scripture.
from K.O.Han?
This is from Oblivion Phantom, and he writes us the following: K.O.Han helped me move my house from America to England. Now I just need to find a way to fix this head-shaped hole in the wall. That's it.
Oh man.
K.O.Han.
Those never get old.
Isn't that true?
Look, it's very possible that. Well, let's say this. You could be K.O.Han and not know it.
Yes.
I mean, how many superheroes are there like that? I think there've been at least a number of them. I mean, how long did it take Bruce? Who's that guy? Who's the Hulk? What's that guy's name again?
Bruce Banner?
Bruce Banner. Like, he didn't know he was the Hulk right away, did he? Or did he always know?
I don't know.
For a while, he probably woke up with like a really ripped pants and like a terrible hangover. It's like, man, I got to stop going to all those truck stops.
What?
And it was only a matter of time before he realized that he was actually the Hulk.
Wait a minute.
I
This
don't
is still
go to
PG-13.
What do you think?
That's pushing it, I think. That's a little bit questionable.
Sorry, we'll edit
It is
that
a
out.
little questionable.
Okay, well,
Eh.
what do you guys think happened at the truck stops?
I don't know. Maybe he was playing Flipper all day.
Yeah. Well, you fall
Is
into
that
a
what
truck.
they call it these days? Flipper?
There's a lot of things going on here. I don't know if I'm liking it.
Bruce Banner didn't like it. It just happened.
What?
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Wait a minute. What? Maybe he wasn't angry. Maybe he was in love.
I need
You wouldn't
need-
like me when I'm in love. My pants rip.
Oh god.
Oh God!
small bone husk and a
Don't say
wyvern.
such thing when I'm drinking. Oh. Yes. Let us talk about something
So
different.
Monster Hunter, what about it, huh?
Yes.
I love
Brad,
Monster
I don't know like how Nick invited you. Maybe it was Nick or Christian, like saying like, "Don't worry, it's all serious Monster Hunter chat." No,
Yes.
that takes roughly like 5% of the actual chat.
Yeah.
Like Capcom is going to review our podcast right up next to the Well Done podcast, and be like, "Yeah,
Well done.
we know who
podcast.
we're not inviting to the next Capcom Fest."
Okay.
So you've never used this bow gun before?
I went around last night shooting Kelbies because I needed Kelbies.
Did you win?
It's not Kelby
won.
season, Nick. You know that's illegal poaching, right?
Oh.
If nobody sees it, it's okay.
All right. So from the sounds of things, we're getting a connection error from Mr. Han.
Uh-oh.
I'm still
Are we?
loading.
That's
I'm
good.
still
We're
loading.
also
Loading
loading
here.
too, bro.
I don't have the. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Okay. Do we want to watch this pretty little cutscene?
We should.
We should.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, tell people your impressions of this monster, Nick, because this is the guy you really want to fight.
This is Cthulhu.
What?
You know? No, it's not Cthulhu.
Does he look like
It
Cthulhu?
is. It is a hovercraft and Cthulhu combo.
Oh, is this one? Okay.
I would love to have an airship powered by him.
Or
Just
does
a
it just
little
was him?
basket hanging. Yeah, or just him. He doesn't look like he's really a mean guy. He looks actually probably like he's just maybe a little misunderstood. Maybe.
Well, that's the thing about all of the monsters like this. They're just the only reason you're fighting them is because they're walking towards the town, and they're like, "Hey, that thing's coming to the town, and it's bigger than the town. Maybe we should do something about that." Yeah, go kill it, Monster Hunter.
You know, I would love it if there were a monster that was not angry at you at all until you actually hit it first. Like was completely docile.
Like Lao is running from Fatalis. That's the whole reason he's in that canyon. And the only reason you're fighting him is because if he keeps going straight, he's gonna run through your town. And so they build this huge fortress that's stopping Lao from doing it. You have to kill him. But he's running from Fatalis. He's not mad at you. It's weird.
So wait a minute,
Yeah,
you
and-
guys want this game to be more like Shadow of the Colossus?
Yes.
Yeah.
That actually be pretty good.
I don't think you're gonna find anyone that would disagree with that
Oh, yeah.
philosophy.
Well, there's the Shadow of the Colossus haters.
Oh, they
What?
are?
They don't
Fair.
exist. If they do, they're
Liar.
not human. They're just trolls. Is all they're doing.
It's posturing. There's no actual sentiment behind it.
It's like they're trying to become so retro, so avant-garde that they've actually pushed themselves off the other side.
It's like negative hipsterdom.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's like
Exactly.
so like hipster. You've become anti-hipster. Hipster. I don't know.
mean,
You like
Lady
that
Gaga.
game, right, Brad? You must have.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I like you guys. I mean, anybody who doesn't like it to me doesn't really like games. I mean, it's impossible to me to think that somebody genuinely dislikes that game. It was so brilliant, I thought.
The only thing that made me upset is there wasn't more of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess can't really be a very valid criticism, is in that if you like a game that much, you just wish there was more of it. It did a pretty good job.
Wait a minute, Shepard. Did you get out? Did you get up the tower?
Yeah, yeah, I got up the tower and then I just flung myself off as I tried to hit him. So that was kind of fun.
Okay. I didn't get up the tower, and there's still something for me to waiting for me when the HD version comes out eventually.
What happens if you fall off the edge? I just saw you jump off the edge. Do you die or what
All
happens?
right, Christian, that was pretty amazing because we were talking about two different towers. No, I never made it up the tower in Ico either. However, there's another tower that we happen to be fighting on right now in Monster Hunter that I accidentally jumped off. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, I made it pretty far up that tower actually. But it was sad because I already knew that there was nothing up it. So that kind of dimmed my enthusiasm just the slightest bit. Oh, come on.
Is the humanizing food?
Is it up there? Can you eat it?
Yeah. It you know how the other fruits and the lizard tails they increase your grip gauge and your health?
Yep.
There are fruits in there that reduce it.
Oh. So if you want to be less powerful. That kind of fits with the theme of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, I'm not-
which game are we talking about? Monster
We're
Hunter?
talking about Ico now. There is no
Wait a minute,
humanizing fruit.
Ico or the other?
I'm sorry, Shadow of the Colossus. You know, this is the most confusing part of the podcast we are ever going to experience.
Yes. This is the Inception part.
Yeah, like there's a lot of layers going on right now.
But if you get through it, you will be rewarded with some.
Dude, very-
Yeah, this one. This one is where you run.
or you hit him if you're a man.
How you run?
No, I just hit him.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Sometimes he doesn't do anything. Like he doesn't look like
That's
he's
true.
doing anything this time.
I think it depends on the color of his eyes.
If he's in rage mode, he's almost guaranteed to do his little.
I'm serious. I really think it
Oh,
does.
Nick's right. If he's
yeah,
in rage
eyes
mode,
is the rage mode, right?
Yeah. yeah.
Ha
Did my
ha
research.
ha! Laugh at me.
Yeah.
It's a
All those
sound
Nick
that's so
haters,
funny.
you can all jump
No,
off the bridge.
I love Nick in a
Good.
very special way.
Uh oh. Oh, he missed. Oh, he didn't miss me that time.
I miss you.
I think the controls. It's been so long since I played Unite. The controls for getting a running slash out are slightly different than what I'm used to. From Monster Hunter Portable Third. They changed a lot of things about the Greatsword that I did not like in Portable Third. I liked having the easy level 3 charge. Nick, you're not, or Brad, you're not familiar with this, but in from Try Forward, you actually have to really time to get the level 3 charge off.
Get his mouth. Get his mouth. His sweet spot.
Oh wait, he wasn't doing his thing, was he?
No, he's
No.
spitting that thunderbug.
Ah,
Oops,
I was really worried he was going to.
my bad.
Oh,
Now he's doing his fart.
hard.
He's farting.
Oh yeah, he's got a big explosive butt.
Oh gosh.
Now he's doing his thunderbug attack. Yeah, you'd really like this guy, Christian, because you get a lot of thunderbugs from him.
Yeah, maybe we should explain. We haven't actually explained it. Yeah, I'm not joining you guys because I'm not high rank enough to play.
Yeah, you're having a hard enough time in portable third, and that only has high rank. Doesn't even have G rank.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. Fans, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Again.
Yeah, just do that exacerbated sigh one more time, Christian, just for the fans, so they can do it with you. Oh. I should have gone. That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
So,
Oh God, no! Oh no! Oh save me! Oh God, no! Oh.
I don't think it did. He usually die after you land.
Well, I'm glad I brought
he has
guts.
guts.
That was not. That was not cool. That was really funny. So just so you know, Christian, I ran into the zone and he was automatically doing his instant kill attack, but because I'm so lucky to have an armor set that lets me survive an instant kill, I did not die.
Oh, okay.
I should have that all the time in portable third because that'll give people less of a reason to make fun of me.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to avoid public humiliation, which you've been exposing yourself to quite a while, quite some time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. How about because we're talking about public humiliation, there is somebody who raised a little bit of criticism about some of the things we said on a podcast, and he used all caps.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm ready for it. Bring it on.
It's social teamwork, and he wrote, "This is important. I have proved you guys wrong!" Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! XD. In one of your previous podcasts, you were asked when your sharpness goes down, whether it is the highest or the lowest sharpness. You answered the highest, but I know I have proof it is the lowest. On your last podcast at 36:50, so 36 minutes in, 50 seconds, when you were fighting a black Diablos, I think black, sharp goes from blue to green sharpness, but blue sharpness had been piercing his face. But when he hits and went to green, he bounced. Please show this in your next podcast. Love it. So he's criticizing, but he's loving it at the same time. But we figured out that he's wrong anyway, right?
Yes, I reviewed the tapes, and
We went back to the archives.
and it turns out that he never got a non-bouncing hit during that time.
Yeah, I always bounce on that. Do you guys want to like get up on the tower so we can actually like fight him?
He's going.
He's getting up there.
I'm getting in from
Look.
below.
I was poking his whiskers.
Oh man, it sounds like you're fighting Bob the cat.
Bob's been pretty quiet today. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I've broken him.
Maybe he's
Broken his-
depressed.
Maybe he's bored with his celebrity status.
Oh my God.
I saw some photos of Bob the cat on Facebook recently.
Oh yeah, he's hanging out.
You know what? In fact, most of this fight is going to be Bob the Cat photo montage. In fact, for every time I fall off, it's just going to be a picture of Bob the Cat.
Oh, that's
Nick, I need a big collection, okay? Send me the biggest
go
zip
to-
file you can.
We're Facebook friends.
Yeah, we are.
Just get them off my podcast.
Now we're going to have internet detectives combing your friend list.
They have to find me first.
Ooh. And then they got to find me. And then they have to find K.O. Han.
And you know what? I have a lot of people named after biblical characters. On my thing. Because I'm from a German town.
Whoa, what?
Just a German town. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sing any Journey songs. In fact, that was a conditional agreement to do this
wow.
podcast with Christian. Was no Journey allowed.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
I'm from a town that has a satellite college to Heidelberg, I guess.
My PS3
What?
is melting. Oh no.
What? What? What is going on?
This is the most eventful podcast I've ever been on, I think.
Wow.
Accidentally, the thing is, I have set up. I use. Oh wow, this is really loud now.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Now we can hear the sound in the background.
The fire engines going off? No.
Well, it sounds like a 747 starting. It's basically I have like these weird how do you call it? I guess like a vitrine, you know, like a where you have like it's basically like a how do you call it? It's like a piece of furniture, but you have like a door, a glass door in front.
Entertainment center?
I guess it's a media thing from IKEA, and yes, and the problem is when I close it, then my consoles aren't getting enough air to cool down,
Well, I would not close
Oh
that
yeah,
door.
you gotta watch out for that, man.
and I accidentally closed it, and now my PS3 is overheating and melting down. It's doing
Was it making noises?
yeah, I can hear it now. Yes, it's
What are the noises that a melting PS3 makes? Because we should let the fans know what that is.
well, it's making the noise of a fan, of a.
That is
Well-
very helpful.
It sounds like
You
fire.
can't use your vast German English vocabulary to express yourself any better than that.
well, it's making.
A very loud fan. Okay.
And then at some point, I guess it doesn't make any sound at all.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a melted puddle of plastic.
Well, yes, I guess. But no, actually, I'm really surprised because I've done this to my PS3 for quite a couple of times already, and it never died.
Good. Yeah.
Until
My
now.
my Xbox will sometimes be left on randomly, and I just get terrified whenever I notice because like I don't know how long it's been on for 2, 3, 4 days at a time.
Wow.
But
man.
but it's the newest version. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
slim.
okay.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot about people whose electric bills went down considerably
Are you serious?
because they got a slim. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I'm going to make it, guys.
You'll be cool. Don't worry if he does his little. He's not going to do it anyways. 'Cause
Oh,
he's,
you're
not,
right.
he's not angry.
He's not mad.
Wow.
You're the one that gave us that little nickel of knowledge, anyways.
Because I was trying to, solo him, and that killed me every time. Because, I'm awful.
Go for guts.
You're not.
Oh,
Oh, there he goes. Time for my Dragon Bomb action.
time for my carbs.
How do you... Oh,
You-
this
you-
is when you can jump on him.
You killed him?
Nope.
No, you can jump on him.
But why did you carve him?
Jump on
You
his
can-
head.
Yeah.
Get some carbs off. Oh no, I don't have any
Get
room.
away. Get away.
Uh,
He's shaking.
I don't care. Look, I'm gonna take my sweet time figuring out what I'm gonna get rid of. Power seeds.
Dragon Moss Plus. Yeah.
So I've never fought this guy before. How are we doing? Are we doing okay? I have no
We're doing
clue.
really good.
Yeah, we're doing decent.
He's not really that hard. He's just sort of time consuming.
Yeah, we might edit this down a tiny bit.
No.
No, full length, do it live.
Too much awesome happened.
Okay. Oh god, yeah, I just came in and he was showing his face and it was really scary. They have the Arcusis heavy gun lance. Looks a lot like that gun lance you're using, Noxella. Is that the Blaganga lance? Gun lance? Yeah. I like that.
So, how about while you guys are fighting this long monster? I have plenty of questions still prepared.
Let's do it. Look, don't we have like 500 questions ready?
Well, we have 500 questions.
500
right?
questions
But I've,
around.
But I've picked just the best from the 500.
The cream,
The cream
of
of
the
the
coffee.
crop. So this is from Jigsaw Hunter, which we already had on our podcast before. And Jigsaw Hunter asks, Jigsaw Hunter here, question for you guys. I have been playing online with a friend, and the most part, big monsters will alternate who they attack. However, there were times where the monsters would focus on one of us for several attacks in a row. Are there some secret monster aggro mechanisms that I don't know, or is it just random?
That is a great question.
I thought so.
Certainly, there are skills that influence their ability to target you or not. Having sneak or taunt
Yes.
should influence it by some random variable.
We had this on a podcast already, where you guys were having sneak and I was getting blasted.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was great. You're getting chewed apart by two bears. we just did not stop laughing. That was just like watch Christian get eaten fun time.
For the
So,
lulls.
I've oftentimes felt as if it's like kind of like a function of how much damage you're doing. But I have no way of proving that. Really. It doesn't, in Unite, there's certain attacks that are triggered based on how close you are to a monster. However, that seems to have changed a little bit in Portable Third. Monsters have gotten a little bit more intelligent.
Oh, wow.
So it may not be that cut and dry. You know, they have certain strategies that they go into regardless of your distance from them.
So what attacks were triggered by... do you have any specific attack in mind in Monster?
Yeah, like Plesioth is a great example in that if you're like in a certain position in front of him, he'll pretty much just constantly do his little water beam forward shot attack. You never have to really worry about much of anything else. So if you can at least dodge that one attack, you don't have anything you ever really need to be concerned about.
Oh, okay. And when you're further away, then he's doing something different.
Yeah, you know, and if you were to fight him in Portable Third, he would probably do that attack a lot, but he would also mix in other things as well, based on other random variables.
So they're getting less predictable in the more modern versions.
Yeah, the only downside is, of course, they've gotten easier in other ways too. You know, stamina damage changes a lot of things, and that it gives pretty much an extra status attack that you can almost always inflict, at least once in every long battle.
Okay, yeah. So it's basically more varied, but...
Nice.
Ooh, something happened.
Yep, big squid, dead.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to jump down without using the camera. I must have fallen by now. Where am I? I want to show people the cinematic. I don't want to ruin it for them. Who am I to do that? Oh, there I am. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's been nothing but criticism since Tri came out. But I think as a whole, the series kind of really did need a reboot. Because we're getting to the point where you're going to have like 60 monsters in one game. Like, you know, clearly some of them need a little reboot, a little refresh. Like Rathalos was one of them.
Wait, you mean there's a limit on how many times you can use the same models?
Well, don't tell Capcom that, because then they'll never have us.
They will disagree. Castlevania.
You know, I'm pretty sure
Castlevania is the example.
Monster Hunter Portable 4, there's actually just going to be the sprite of Morrigan floating around.
Oh gosh!
That's going to be the monster.
Oh wow!
Wait, that cactus guy? He's gonna be one of the wyverns?
Yep. Cactus guy.
Wonderful.
You know, I have his game here, Samba de mi Amigo. I still have never played it. I think I've owned it since I bought my Wii.
Yes, Samba de Amigo.
Samba de Amigo, yeah.
But you don't
The Baraka game.
But do you have the controllers?
Yeah, I have the controllers.
Wow! So I guess we are going to wrap this up right now. Thank you for sending in the questions. Please do keep them coming, and especially questions and experiences with you and how K.O. Han touched your life and touched other things in your life. If you want to get in touch with us, wow, this is getting really weird. You can send us an email to monsterhuntercast@googlemail.com or comment on our blog at monsterhunterpodcast.tumblr.com. You can also, of course, comment always on our YouTube channel, where all the cool dudes are hanging out and giving you all this awesome advice on how to be excellent at Monster Hunter. And also, I would like to ask you, Brad, on how people can read and enjoy the stuff that comes from you.
I have a couple jokes that could go along with that, but I think in the interest of keeping it PG-13, I will just give you a simple answer. First of all, people can follow me on Twitter. It's just @BradGalloway. And if you don't know, my last name is Gallaway. My entire life, people have been trying to put an O in there somewhere, and it just doesn't fit. Everything is A's. So I'm a pretty active Twitter user. You can always get me there. I'm also the senior editor at GameCritics.com. You can find us on the web. And my personal blog is drinkingcoffeecola.com, and that's all one word.
Yes. And if you go to GameCritics.com, be sure to check out the wonderful, excellent Freedom Unite review. And also, I thought the Try review was also interesting, because you did the Try review first, right?
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. If we just have a minute here, I was going to say Try was actually my first in-depth experience with Monster Hunter. And so the time between when I wrote up Try and when I wrote up Freedom Unite was, I think, a couple years. And it was a really interesting thing to be able to look back as a writer and see how much my opinion had changed, how much my knowledge of the game had changed, and how much just putting in the hours had really altered my perspective on everything Monster Hunter. So for me, it was a real learning experience just on myself. But I think when you compare the two reviews, they're both both valid, but I think now I wish I had put another 200 hours into Tribe before I had reviewed it back then. I only had logged like 80 the first time. So.
Yeah, well, 80 is still quite a lot, I think. And the two reviews, I think they give like this wonderful arc, this wonderful like a biography of a Monster Hunter player, I thought.
Yeah, Brad, if you could have like a message to the quote unquote gaming journalism force out there, what would you want to say to them about what they're doing wrong when they're generally reviewing Monster Hunter?
That's a good question.
Well, okay, yeah, that is a really good question. I think one thing that always occurs to me is that not enough people try to take the game on its own terms. I understand that there's certainly a Japanese element to it, and a lot of people who are not familiar with that kind of get turned off. But in terms of the actual control, I think a lot of people, myself included, when we first start playing Monster Hunter without any prior knowledge, we kind of expect it to be more of a real-time action game. And I hear a lot of people say, "Why isn't there a lock-on? How come we can't lock on?" And why is these attacks take so long? And why do I have to raise my arms after I drink a potion? Because they want it to be kind of like a Devil May Cry, really quick, flashy action kind of thing. And they don't really understand like the risk and reward exchange that goes on between the hunter and the monster. They don't understand, the timing that goes into actually pulling off successful attacks, and all of the work that goes into mounting a successful hunt. I mean, people think, oh, okay, here's a big sword. This armor looks cool. Okay, boom, let's go. Where's my lock on? Let's kill this thing and roll some credits. But, if people would just actually take the game on its own terms and really give it a chance to blossom, I think a lot more reviewers would be way more favorable to it, and we probably would hear a lot more about it. I've actually taken some flack recently.
Oh, wow.
Because I've really been tooting the Monster Hunter horn quite a bit. I mean, it's nothing hardcore, but I've been mentioning it a lot more lately, and people have been kind of ribbing me about it. But, after having taken all the time to get into it, I really do have a much deeper appreciation for the game, and I think a lot of people out there would really, really like the game if they had given it more of a chance. I will say, though, to be fair, I do think that Capcom does a really piss poor job of explaining the game, and I think the game itself, it should be so much more open. I mean, I've put in altogether on the Monster Hunter series, I think probably 500 hours or so, which is more than I've spent on any other series in my life. And even now, there's a ton of things I have to look up, or that I don't know, or that I'm not sure about. And as somebody approaching the game with a clean slate and not knowing anything about it, it's totally overwhelming, and there's so much that's just not available in terms of information. I mean, the skills should be better explained, how the damage works should be better explained. I mean, there's all these things that I think Capcom could do to make it more approachable rather than just making the monsters easier. So I do think that Capcom has stumbled a bit there, but I would encourage anybody curious about the game or just beginning the game to really take the time to learn the systems, do a lot of research on the web. I mean, the internet is a Monster Hunter's best friend as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's just so much there to really appreciate.
Definitely. Well, let's see what Capcom will do on the HD version, and maybe their own possible. Maybe the Vita version and stuff like that. There are still lots of releases in the future, and Capcom will certainly have a lot of opportunities to change things around.
I hope so. I hope to have a whole new generation of Monster Hunters to quest with, because I tell you, it's been pretty lonely the last couple of years.
Got any hacked cats?
Oh man, give me one.
All right, Brad, I believe you have to leave, so thanks for coming in on the show. It's been a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you so much, guys. It has really been my pleasure. I mean, just the sitting in on these quests with you guys, I mean, these would have been basically impossible to do on my own, so doing them with a group is great, and getting to see you guys in action is wonderful. So thanks very much for having me on.
Sure,
you're very welcome.
Yeah, totally. And maybe we can see each other on some other episode. Also, thanks everybody for listening and watching. We wish you, as always, good luck, good hunt, and remember, KO hunt backwards means na okay.
icy tundra late at night. And when I'm walking in the caves, sometimes feel a little strained, a little anxious in the caves. Fear of the knocks, fear of the knocks. I have a constant fear that Giga Nox is near. Fear of the knocks, fear of the knocks. I have a phobia, the creeping venom's there. Bloodstone gathered wet, thought you knew what to expect. You were in for a surprise. Suddenly afraid to take a look at the ceiling of the cave. Sense that something's watching you. Fear of the knocks, fear of the knocks. I have a constant fear that Giga Nox is near. Fear of the knocks, fear of the knocks. I have a phobia, the creeping venom there. Have you been alone in a pitch black? Thought you heard the giggies hatch. You glanced around but nothing's there. Trying to quicken up your pace, find it hard to sprint again, cause you're sure her scream is near. Fear of the knocks, fear of the knocks. I have a constant fear that Giga Nox is near. Fear of the knocks, fear of the knocks. I have a phobia, the creeping venom's there. Fear of the knocks. Watch, now let's play the night before, debating armor, skills, and more. Thoughts of vengeance on your mind. likes to play tricks. Senses suddenly are fixed like clouds of poison from behind. Fear of the Nox, fear of the Nox. I have a constant fear that Giga Nox is near. Fear of the Nox, fear of the Nox. I have a phobia, the creeping venom there. Fear of the Nox, fear of the Nox. I have a phobia, the creeping venom there. Fear of the Nox, fear of the Nox. I have a phobia that Giga Nox is there. When I'm hunting in the cold, I am a man who hunts alone.
Oh God! Oh God! No! Oh no! Oh no! Oh
Wait a
no!
minute, that's not a guy.